Hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, and completely colorblind. I mostly knit and crochet by feel. And today's video is going to be a crochet tutorial on how to crochet this shell and trellis beanie. We are going to work it top down. The sample that you have in front of you is in the Knit Picks We Crochet Chroma Worsted. This is a discontinued color. It's called Dragon Lily. I think it's beautiful. I think it's too bad they discontinued it. If you're colorblind like myself, my understanding is that it's blacks, pinks, and purples. Now, we can really use any number 4 for an adult size. Probably like an average adult size head, right? Probably around that 21 inches kind of a size. So that's what you're going to get with the worsted weight. We also have this one in the Swish Worsted, a 100% superwash merino wool by Knit Picks and We Crochet. If you want to make a child's version, you can do the exact same hat in a DK weight yarn. This is a DK weight version done in the Valley Yarns Haydenville DK, and you can see when I put it up next to the black one that fits me, it's significantly smaller. I have made a child's version, however, the baby version. However, the baby version will take a separate video. It is different math, okay? So, but for this hat, you can really use, I would say for the adult version, any worsted weight number 4 yarn. For the child's version, any DK weight yarn. The chroma is 70% superwash wool, 30% nylon. I think the chromas and the ombres look absolutely beautiful. I'd really like to make it again but I'm not going to do that for the tutorial. As somebody who's mostly blind, I really listen to knit and crochet tutorials, and I'm not totally sure what colors show up on camera, but my understanding is that yellow shows up really well. Now, I am half Chinese. I can't wear yellow, but that's fine. We can totally put this in the donation pile. I'm happy to do this in a color that my understanding this is canary, and this is in the Brava Worsted by Knit Picks and We Crochet. So yes, we are going to make it in acrylic. You will definitely see that you can make this. I know some people have wool allergies, right? Both of these samples, the ombre and the black, are wools and wool blends, and I know some people have wool allergies. Some people can't afford to buy wool, and they always ask, can you make it in acrylic? So yes, today we are going to make this demo in acrylic. Brava Worsted, a 100% acrylic from Knit Picks and We Crochet in their color Canary, which I believe is a nice yellow, which hopefully will show up for people. Today we are going to be using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, which is a size I. So, I am right-handed as well, and I am going to start this. The skills that you need for this hat, for this beanie that we're going to do, is that we are going to work it in the round, top down. I am going to start mine with a magic circle because that's really what I know and what I feel comfortable teaching. If you want to start yours, I think there's probably at least 3 different ways to start crochet projects, right? In the round, top down. So if you're not comfortable with magic circle, if that's not the way you learned and you want to do like a chain 4 or something like that, and work in that, by all means, you start your project in whatever way is most comfortable for you. But you will need to know how to crochet in the round, do some type of circular start there. We're going to use the double crochet, and we're going to need to know how to chain and how to slip stitch for this project. Okay, so let's get started. I do have an in-depth tutorial on my channel about how to do a magic ring, so this isn't going to be super in-depth, but I do grab the very end of my yarn in between my thumb and my index finger of my right hand, and then I just drape it over. If you're brand new to this, I leave about a 4-inch tail and drape it over the back of my left hand pinch it between my thumb and my index finger, and then we go around over the top of the back of the index finger and the middle finger. We go underneath those two, underneath the middle finger and the index finger. We come back around over the top again between the thumb and the index finger, and we cross those two strands of yarn to make a nice X, and then we bring it back down between the ring finger and the pinky, so that we have an X that crosses the back of our left hand over our the cross of the X should be between the join, between that little joint space in between the index finger and the middle finger. We're going to stick our crochet hook underneath the front strand, and then we're going to flip it so that it is hook side down. We're going to use our hook. We're going to snag that back strand, pull it up, twist our hook so that we have a loop on our hook, and then we're going to go ahead and go over to that strand that's going over the top of our ring finger there, and then we're just going to twist it and pull it through, and that is our magic ring. We can now take it off of our fingers and we can cinch that up. Okay, we are going to start this with just a chain 1, chain 2. That is just for height. That chain 2 does not count for anything, okay? That doesn't count as a stitch. We are going to start our double crochets now. I tension my yarn between my index finger and my middle finger. You do you, however it works for you. We're going to yarn over our hook. We're going to stick our hook down into that ring. We're going to grab that yarn. We're going to yarn over. We're going to pull it through. We should have 3 loops on our hook. We are going to yarn over, twist our hook, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is 1 double crochet. Let's do that again. Yarn over the hook, down into the hook, grab the yarn, pull it up, drop a loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, twist our hook, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is 2 double crochets. I will do that with you one more time. Yarn over, hook goes down into the ring. We're going to grab that yarn with our hook. We're going to drop a loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, twist our hook, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Oh, I think I split my yarn that time. That's what happened. Okay, and finish my stitch, yarn over and pull through 2. That is 3 double crochets. Okay, we are going to continue this until you have worked 12 double crochets into your ring. I'm going to pause the camera. I'll get back with you when we have 12. Okay, we should have 12 double crochets worked into our magic ring. We can now pull that center ring nice and tight, and then we're just going to skip over the top of that chain 2 and slip stitch right into our very first stitch there. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch there to join, and then we are going to chain 2 for height. The chain 2 doesn't count as anything. So this is going to be our first increase round. We are going to work 2 double crochets into the first stitch. Yarn over the hook, go back into the stitch that we just slip stitched into under both loops. Drop a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through. Oopsie, missed my stitch there. Okay, yarn over underneath the top 2 loops only. Drop a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to work an increase, which means we're going to do another double crochet into the very same stitch that we just worked into. So this will be 2 double crochets into the first stitch. We're going to move on to our second stitch. Yarn over the hook, go underneath the top 2 loops only, draw up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to do that same thing again. We are going to make another double crochet into the same stitch that we just came out of. One stitch becomes two. Those first two stitches become four. And we're going to do this again. We're going to work another increase, yarn over into underneath those top two loops into the stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, and then we're going to make another double crochet into the same stitch that we just, oops, I missed it, into the same stitch that we just came out of. Sometimes I have to just grab my yarn and pull it over because I can't see what I'm doing. So we are basically, this is our increase round where you put 2 double crochets into every single stitch all the way around. I'm going to do that, and at the end of this round we should have 24 double crochets all the way around. I will see you at the end of round 2. Okay, I've just finished round 2. We should have 24 double crochets. We're going to just work right over the top of that chain 2. We're going to slip stitch underneath the top 2 loops of our first stitch. We're going to slip stitch there to join. And now we're just going to chain 1, chain 2, and we're going to double crochet, another increase round, into the same stitch that our chain, oops, I missed it again. We're going to yarn over into the top of that stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to put 1 double crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to go into the second stitch, yarn over underneath the top 2 loops, drop a loop, yarn over, missed it, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now this is our increased stitch into our second stitch. We're going to work another double crochet into the same stitch, into the same stitch that we just came out of. So now we should have 3 double crochets. Okay, we'll do the repeat again for round number 3. We go and we work one double crochet, and then into the next stitch we're going to put, if I can do it, I'm really having a hard time tonight, 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And that is how, if I can grab that stitch, and that's how your repeat's going to go. It's going to be 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and 2 double crochets into the next stitch. I'll work that with you one more time. Into this stitch, the next stitch, we're going to work 1 double crochet, and then the next stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets, and that's your pattern repeat for round number 3. 1 double crochet into the first stitch, 2 double crochets into the next stitch. At the end of this round we should have 36 double crochets all the way around. I will meet you at the end of round 3. Okay, I have just completed round number 3. We should have 36 double crochets at the end of round number 3. And I'm going to try to find the top of my stitch back, if I can, and slip stitch underneath those top 2 loops to join. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1, chain 2, round number 4. We are going to double crochet back into the top of the stitch that we just came out of, and that's in this first stitch. In the second stitch we're going to work 1 double crochet. Into our third stitch here we're going to put 2. Oh, if I can find the top of my stitch there, I kind of split that yarn, I think. We're going to put 2 if I can get it. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time tonight. Just gonna do it like that. Okay, so that's your repeat for row number 4. First stitch gets 1 double crochet, second stitch gets 1 double crochet, third stitch gets 2 double crochet. We'll start the repeat again. We'll do 1 double crochet. The next stitch gets 1 double crochet, and then the next stitch is going to get 2 double crochets. If I can get 1 into it. Now I've lost track of what I'm doing. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, this stitch gets 2 double crochets. Hopefully I'm staying on camera. I really can't tell sometimes if I'm on camera. I really have a hard time even seeing my screen. So I don't always know if I am on camera. And we'll do that repeat one more time, okay? So our repeat is for round number 4 is 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and well, maybe and 2 double crochets into this stitch. And at the end of this round, round 4, you should have 48 double crochets, okay? I will see you at the end of round number 4. Okay, I'm at the end of round number 4. This is what your hat should look like. You should have 48 double crochets all the way around. And now we are just going to slip stitch into the top of the first stitch underneath the top 2 loops, and then we're going to chain 1, chain 2. That beginning chain 2, as usual, does not count for anything. Okay, and so now here begins the repeat for round number 5. We are going to double crochet into our first stitch. We are going to double crochet into stitch number 2 and double crochet under the third stitch into the fourth stitch. Here we are going to work 2 double crochets. So that's where your increase goes into your fourth stitch. You make that into 2 stitches. Okay, so this is the repeat for round number 5. 1 double crochet, 2, 3. We're going to work 3 double crochets, and then into the fourth stitch we work 2 double crochets, so that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of 4, we now have 5. We're going to repeat that again. Into this stitch, we're going to work the next 3 stitches are going to get the next 3 stitches are going to get 1 double crochet. And then the 4th stitch is going to get 2 double crochets. I'm going to work that repeat with you one more time. We're going to put 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. I'm sure most of you crochet faster than I do. Okay, we should have 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then this 4th stitch is going to get 2 double crochets. Hopefully I didn't split my yarn there. I may have. Okay, and so that's your repeat all the way around. I'm going to have to rework that one. But that's your repeat all the way around, is 3 double crochets, and then in the 4th stitch you put 2 double crochets. And at the end of round number 5, you should have, I'm having way too hard of a time with this particular last stitch. At the end of round number 5, you should have 60 stitches all the way around. So I will see you at the end of round number 5 when you have 60 stitches. Okay, I am at the end of round number 5. We should have 60 stitches at the end of round number 5, and round number 6 we are going to chain 2, which doesn't count for anything. Now let's start the repeat for round number 6. We're going to double crochet into our first stitch. We're going to double crochet into the second stitch, double crochet into the third stitch, double crochet into the fourth stitch. Hopefully you can see that. And into our fifth stitch here. We're going to work 2 double crochets. And that is the end of the repeat for round number 6. You work 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, and then into the fifth stitch you work 2 double crochets, so that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I will work the repeat with you for round number 6 just a couple more times. 2 double crochets. I'm going to work our third double crochet, going to work our fourth double crochet, and then into the fifth double crochet we're going to put 2. Oh, going to put 2 double crochets into our fifth stitch here. Keep missing that stitch. This is a really bad angle for me to record, or for me to work at when I have to record under this boom. So I do have some issues crocheting, but I definitely have more trying to work under the camera. So you have 4 double crochets in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your fifth stitch gets 2 double crochets. We'll do the repeat for round number 6 one more time. Oh, I just split my yarn, didn't I? Having some issues with splitting with this yarn. That's 1. 2. 3. Oh, the yellow shows up on the white. I have no idea. I just should have chosen a different background. And 2 double crochets into this fifth stitch. Okay, and that's the repeat for round number 6. It is double crochet into 4 stitches, and then 2 double crochets into the fifth stitch. So at the end of round number 6 you should have 72 double crochets, and that will be our last increase round. See you at the end of round number 6. Okay, at the end of round number 6, you should have 72 stitches all the way around, and that is our last increase round. So we're going to slip stitch to the top of that very first double crochet, and they're going to do a chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3 this time, and that chain 3 will count as our first double crochet. And now we're going to begin the repeat of round number 7, and this is our shell round. So we're going to skip 1, skip 2, skip 3, and into this next stitch we are going to work our shells for this pattern. If I can get my first stitch done. And our shell for this pattern is going to be our shell for this pattern is going to be 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets all into this same stitch. So 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets all into the same stitch. And I need 1 more to complete my shell. Okay, so that's the shell for this pattern. Is into one stitch we work 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets into the same stitch, and then we skip 1, we skip 2, we skip 3, and into the next stitch we work a double crochet. I missed my stitch. We skip 1, we skip 2, we skip 3. Into the stitch we're going to work a double crochet, and that, if I can complete my double crochet, is the end of the repeat. From there we start our repeat again. Of course, this time we start with a double crochet into the very next stitch. Okay, so into the very next stitch we work a double crochet, and then we're going to skip 1, skip 2, skip 3. Into this next stitch is where we put our shells, and our shell for this pattern is 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 more double crochets. I've only got my 3 done, chain 1, and 3 more into the same stitch. That's 1. I'm really on the struggle bus tonight. Pull some more yarn and get 1 more into that spot. Oh. Okay, and then, so yes, the shell is 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets into the same stitch, and then you skip 1, you skip 2, you skip 3, and you put in another double crochet. So that's your pattern repeat. So this pattern repeat, this is the shell and trellis. It is a multiple of 9, right? That's what you should figure out. That's why we're doing 72 stitches all the way around. On my black beanie here, you can see that we have 8 shells, and each pattern repeat is a multiple of 9. That gives us the 72. So we double crochet into 1 stitch, and then we skip 3 stitches. So that's 4 stitches into the 5th stitch, which is the middle stitch, right? That's the middle stitch of your 9. You work your shell. That is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. That's the 5th. We skip stitch 6, 7, and 8. And in the 9th stitch, we put a double crochet. And that's your 9 stitch repeat. I'll work it with you one more time. And the very first stitch of the repeat, you work, oh my goodness, the very first stitch of your repeat, you work a double crochet. That is stitch 1. We skip 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so then in the 5th stitch out of the 9 is where we put our shell, because that's the middle stitch out of 9. So that's 1 double crochet, that is 2, that is 3. We chain 1, and then we're going to work 3 more double crochets right into the middle stitch into this same stitch, right? The shell, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, all goes into the same stitch, the middle stitch, the 5th stitch out of the 9 in the repeat. So your shell and trellis hat is, the stitch repeat is going to be a multiple of 9, and that's why we have 72 stitches, and we're going to work it 8 times around. So we're going to skip 1, skip 2, skip 3, and then double crochet onto the 9th stitch or the last stitch of the repeat. Okay, so there we go. That's the repeat. I'm going to work that all the way around. 9 stitch repeat. You double crochet, you skip 3 into the middle stitch, you work the shell, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and then you skip 3 double crochets and you work a double crochet, and you will have 2 double crochets right next door to each other. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and complete this at the end of my round. When I get to the end, I should have 8 shells all the way around, and then I will meet you here at the beginning where we will slip stitch into the top of our chain 3. Okay, and that will complete round number 7. Okay, I am at the end of round number 7. And at the last stitch in round number 7, you put a double crochet. And then your very first chain here, we should have a chain 3. And we are going to slip stitch into the top of our chain 3 to join. And that's the end of round number 7. So we should have 8 shells, right? Pull up our loop. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We should have 8 shells, and then these 2 double crochets together. Then we have 2 double crochets right next door. I don't want to say 2 together. 2 double crochets right next door, right? And that's your trellis. Thus, this is the shell and trellis beanie, right? So we have our pattern repeat is a double crochet, it's a skip 3 stitches, and then it's a shell stitch in the 5th stitch, which the shell is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, all in the 5th stitch, the middle stitch, and then we skip 3, and then we put a double crochet. That is your repeat for round number 7, and that starts your shell and trellis pattern for this hat, for our little beanie here. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and start round number 8. Round number 8 is your repeat row for however long you want it, right? This is my very first one. I think I did like 5 pattern repeats. I think the black one has 6. You make it however long you want it once we finish this round. So at the beginning of round number 8, once you slip stitch into the chain 3, you start again, and your very first one is a chain 3. That will count as your first double crochet, and then you skip over to the chain 1 space, and your shell, you should have a chain 1 space, and that is where we're going to work into from now on. I just lost my stitches. I don't know if I can pick these up or if I just need to rework the stitch. I just need to rework the stitch. That is where you work your shell. From now on in the pattern, you work your 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the chain 1 space. So that's 3 double crochets. We work a chain 1, and then we put 3 more double crochets into our chain one space. And then we move on to the trellis part where we have these 2 double crochets. So into the first one, into the top of the double crochet, we put a double crochet. And then we have the second double crochet, and right into the top of that, underneath the top 2 loops only, we put another double crochet. And then we do it again. We start with our shell, which goes into the chain 1 space of the shell from the previous round. We work 3 double crochets for our shell here. It is 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. Pardon my neighbors over there. We got some yard work or something going on out here. Somebody's chopping down something. Okay, so that's your shell, your 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, all goes into the chain 1 space from the round below. And then we get over to the double crochets and we work a double crochet into the top of the double crochet. And that is the trellis part, right? Shell and trellis beanie. And here we go. We're going to start the repeat. I'll do it with you one more time. You double crochet under the top of the double crochet. And then you start your shell into the chain 1 space of the start your shell into the chain 1 space of the shell below, and it's going to be the same shell, exactly the same. 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 1 and 2 and 3, right? 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. That's the shell in this pattern. We end the pattern repeat by working a double crochet into the top underneath the top 2 loops of this double crochet, and that is round number 8. I'm going to go ahead and continue that round all the way around. I will meet you at the end of round number 8, and round number 8 is your repeat round. You just keep working that as many times as you want. Okay, at the end of round number 8, I worked a double crochet in my last double crochet, and then I slip stitched into the top of my chain 3 to end the round, to connect with the beginning of the round, right? So we've got the double crochet, and then we slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 at the beginning. So this is what your round, this is what your beanie should start to look like. Okay, we've got 2 rounds of shells. We should have 8 shells all the way around over our 9 stitches, and you just repeat that as long as you want, right? This is my one in the chroma worsted. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did 5 pattern repeats on this particular hat. And you can do 5, you can do 6. This is the black one. I think it's got like 6 shells on it or something like that. So you make yours as long as you want. I think any worsted weight will do. The ombre one is in the chroma worsted in a wool and nylon blend. The black is in the swish worsted 100% superwash merino. And the canary is in the Brava 100% acrylic. And of course, I did make the DK weight version one, which is significantly smaller. I did this as a child size one, and I did make the child size one with a 5mm hook. So I did drop my hook size down to an H for the DK, whereas the one we're doing in the worsted, we're using the 5.5. But you can make a child size one by doing the exact same hat on a DK weight yarn with a 5mm hook. Okay, well that's the end of the tutorial on how to make the shell and trellis crochet beanie. Hope you enjoyed. So sorry about all of my struggles tonight. I turned the lights on so that you all could see what I'm doing, but I am blinded by light, and so I can't really see it all in light anymore. So anyways, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for listening. Please say hello in the comments. Let me know if you made the hat. Let me know what yarn you used, what yarn, what color. You know, I want to hear all the details. Thanks for listening, and until next time, happy stitching and bye-bye for now.